$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. $20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve will throw a hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And our very own Mike Hawk brought me this story yesterday. It's going to take a second to make sense. Today, we toast a 22-year-old man from St. Petersburg, Florida. Now, on Monday, he hit his girlfriend in the face with a handgun. Then he fled the scene in a vehicle that had 2 loaded firearms, cocaine, and fentanyl. Obviously, the only reason we know this is because the cops caught him. Now, keep in mind, this is the same genius who served 8 years for attempted murder, starting when he was age 13. 5 months after his release for that, he was arrested for cocaine possession, driving without a license, and illegally possessing a firearm. Well, he was just freed from that case this past February, and now, 4 months later, his latest stupidity has got him back in jail. So the question is, why would we be toasting this POS? That's a fine question. That's a fair question. We're toasting him because this man's name is LeGenius. LeGenius Williams.
Parents? The genius. That's the genius.
The genius.
In French.
This is a man.
You didn't know.
A man.
Genius.
This is a boy at 13, had served 8 years for attempted murder. Gets out of jail 5 months later, goes back to jail. Gets out 4 months later, he's going back to jail. LeGenius.
He's LeGenius.
LeGenius. Jesus H. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola!
You know it's Bad Choice Friday. It's Bad Choice Friday. You know it's Bad Choice Friday. Hey, man, this is your fault.
All right, Battle of the Birthdays, Mike, on a Bad Choice Friday. Paul Abdul is turning 60. We put straight up against Manilow. And Copacabana, Barry is turning 79 over the weekend. How was the voting?
It was not a very close one, a 41 to 59 split there. Miles, what is the rule when it comes to birthdays? We only give you a shout when it is your birthday. Therefore, happy birthday, Barry Manilow.
Oh, Barry Manilow.
Let's go to Copacabana.
Wow.
Oh, yes. Just like the weather outside. Welcome to the weekend, bitches. Here's your winner on Bad Choice Friday. It's Miles and Thrill in the Men's Room. 99.9 KISW. Seattle, thanks for going outlet. Don't forget to tip bartenders and waitresses.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
99.9 KISW. We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Now for all TV news all the time for TV Time of 10.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
What is going on, everybody?
How are you?
Doing good, man. I've been doing a little bit of catching up when it comes to my TV shows. You know, for a while there, I was just a little bit on the busy side. I wasn't able to watch the ones that I wanted to. I found Letterkenny, and I've already gotten up to season 4 on that one.
How many seasons do they have?
There's like 10 seasons of that show.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
They have an animated version called Little Kenny, and now they have a spin-off that's called Shorzy. And Shorzy has just finally showed up in the show, and he's just as funny. Like, if you guys have not checked out this show, I will continue to sing its praises. It is stupid. It is mindless. There's no purpose to it. There's no plot line or anything like that. It's a bunch of Canadians that are just getting into hijinks. It's good quality comedy. The writing's wonderful in it. I had to start watching it with subtitles because I was missing some of the jokes. But it is smart humor that's in that show.
It's English, Mike.
It is.
It's Canadian English.
Canadian
French.
English. And then got all caught up on Obi-Wan Kenobi, except for I do know that there is a new episode that was out just a couple days ago that I haven't seen yet.
I watched it, yeah.
And then The Boys, there is a new episode that's out tonight, is the only one that I haven't seen yet. So I'm getting caught up on my shows.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do, man. I've been sticking with Kenobi. I've actually really enjoyed it.
Same.
Watched it last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was good. I watched episode 4.
Okay, so you're where I'm at in the show.
Mm-hmm. I've got one that's still out that I haven't seen.
Right. Yeah,
So what did I
just
watch?
came out.
5. Okay, yeah, so I'm on 5.
You're ready. You're ready for the final.
Oh, yeah. Episode 5 I thought was great, man.
Well, it's got to ramp up because this is the penultimate episode.
The Leia factor. She's kind of a...
She's
I think she's a
good
great,
little actress,
cool
man.
kid. Yeah.
And
again, I hate to be this guy because I don't want to be the super Star Wars nerd, but when she introduces herself,
I know.
to Ben Kenobi in the Star Wars movie, it's, hey, Ben, you fought beside my father, but she, as opposed to, you might remember my ass. I got your ass out of retirement. People tried to kill you, all that stuff, some things you found out along the way.
Well, she's just a young kid at this time, man.
I think I'd remember that.
Well, okay, do you remember the name of
that
the
was later
guy?
in her life.
Right.
My understanding is that she's roughly 10 years old in this episode, and she's either 17 or 20 when Star Wars takes place.
Right.
She remembers that.
But also, based on the way that her life is and what she can assume about his life, he might be getting into this kind of crap all the time.
She's a princess.
Right. And to be honest with you, the way that they wrote her and the way that the actress is delivering, it feels
very much
like a young Carrie Fisher, man.
I think it's
I think she does a great
you
job.
have to be precocious but smart, right? All that kind of thing.
Exactly.
She's very prim and proper.
But scared of nothing.
But also, fearless and willing to get into trouble.
Crazy. You think he's not going to remember your ass?
It's a great character for a child to watch and say, like, I want to root for this person.
Yes.
Because I'm rooting for this person.
100%.
Yeah.
That and having James Earl Jones come back in and reprise his
He
role.
was not in the one I watched last night. He was not in 4 that much.
Okay, well, I
think he was in
voice
3,
still was.
but like Jimmy Smits wasn't in it, so they rotate the guys in and out.
Yeah, fair enough. Something that was covered a little bit earlier this week, I found out that I have a connection to an Avengers actor, or rather, I am able to relate to an Avengers actor. We discussed
This is Chris Evans, Captain America.
Chris Evans, Captain America. We found out that I'm kind of on par in the trouser department.
We
which I'm
did
proud
not
of.
find out. You have told us. These are two different things.
Right, exactly.
I told you I'm hung like so-and-so, right? You can take my word for it. I don't know that what you're saying is true.
If a woman said yes, Mike is right.
She did.
She did.
We didn't hear that.
Oh, okay, fair enough. But
we need her to call in.
Make that part of your vows.
You gotta say that I'm on par.
Reason.
The problem is that when Ted was here, I tried to look for it so that I could show him. But then I caught a news article that was like, yeah, Chris Evans basically admits that he doesn't have much down there. It's like, God, don't knock me down after I just got lifted up, damn it.
That didn't take long.
Anywho, but I found out that I'm actually starting to relate to a handful of different Avengers actors, not only Captain America, but now Thor's Chris Hemsworth. He and I share kind of a similar origin story as to how we got into our careers.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. So I've told the story a couple times. What got me into radio, I was working down at the detail shop, and one thing that I had down there was the radio on all the time. I fell in love with the station. You guys as well. You were my inspiration. And I was just cleaning cars, not liking what I wanted to do. It was not what I wanted to do with my life. And then I figured out that, you know what, maybe radio was the thing that I want to do. Here come today, find out that Chris Evans figured out that he wanted to be an actor in the same manner of just basically being there alone with his thoughts. Do you guys know what Chris Hemsworth did before he became an actor?
Evans or Hemsworth?
Sorry, Chris Hemsworth. Do you know what he did before he became an actor?
Man, I read this and I can't remember.
No, you cannot, so listen.
I used to fix and repair and clean breast pumps. and milk extractors. I just remember being really bored, and I used to kind of think about what I wanted to do, which was act and all the other exciting things I wanted to sort of journey into. Boredom is kind of a good space to do some solid thinking, and I did plenty of that.
Well, it's Admiral.
Well, I guess somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to do it.
I used to clean breast pumps. Now I'm Thor.
Right. Working close to boobs, and now he's Thor.
Right.
Good work.
Now I have boobs.
And then this is actually a fun little tidbit that they dropped in there along with this interview. It says that his maturity as an actor didn't come quite fast enough because he also revealed that in the interview that he originally failed his Thor audition, and it wasn't until his younger brother Liam almost actually got the part, but was too young to play Thor.
Why do you, if you have a famous brother, one of you has to be named Liam? I know. Both of you, two famous people, but why does one always have to be a Liam?
There's always got to be a Liam.
Liam brother, right?
You know what I read today is kind of messed up. I can't remember the name of these chicks, but there was a spinoff from the show Bewitched called Tabitha. All right.
Twins, right?
They were twins. So kind of like the Olsen twins on, what was it called? Full House.
Yeah.
Okay? And while they were twins, they did play one person.
Yes.
Same with these twins playing the role of Tabitha, but they weren't identical twins. They were fraternal twins, okay? So as this show progressed and they started getting older, they started looking different. Mm-hmm. They fired one and kept the other.
Oh, no way.
I get it, because you can't have, she can't look different, but like one of them kept the gig, kept getting a paycheck. The other one's like, yeah, we have to let you go. We would rather go with the face of your twin.
About to say, what does that say about the one that got let go? Like,
damn.
Like, huh?
Mm-hmm. My parents had a lot of conversations with her.
What's identifiable about me then that I needed to leave?
You were the uglier one. I mean, look, it's Hollywood, man. Let's break it to you. You were ugly.
Some more TV news here. We found out that another show is actually making a resurgence here. You guys remember it. It is our old friends in Beavis and Butthead.
Is it a show or a movie, Mike?
So it says Beavis and Butthead Do Universe hits Paramount Plus next week, and new episodes of the show are coming by the end of the year.
Okay.
So I think that they're actually coming out with a movie, and then they're going to start making this show. It says this is 2022, and Beavis and Butthead aren't limiting themselves to music videos. They'll also comment on clips from YouTube and TikTok as well.
Makes sense.
Just because that's who they were. They just sat there and they goofed on the videos that they had at their disposal.
How long before, there's a freak out about their content?
You know what?
Like, so if there's a freak out about M&M's, I would just assume Beavis and Butthead, there will be a freak out about something.
Sure. It says creator Mike Judge says, quote, "There's just so much to watch. We're limited to music videos on MTV, but the world is cluttered with so much video now. Now, whatever the demographic that was watching music videos is probably watching this kind of stuff on TikTok, and we all watch YouTube. And the thing is, Mike Judge is so good, not to be cutesy here, but he's a great judge of character and content to where he will know where that line is and how far to stay away from that line.
You boys back into my shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's how that started.
That is exactly how that started. So new episodes of Beavis and Butthead coming a little bit later. I'm excited for it. I didn't watch it when I was younger. I'm sure I wasn't allowed to watch it when I was younger, but I didn't know it wasn't on my radar.
Is it not weird that both The Simpsons and that show kind of spun off of other weird creations?
What did The Simpsons spin off of? I forget.
Simpsons was
originally on the Tracy Ullman show.
Yeah, so HBO had a show.
They were a bit. So there's the Tracy Ullman show, a variety show. Like Think Carol Burnett.
Okay,
and then every once in a while, she would throw to this thing called The Simpsons,
the cartoon,
which was just like this little animated thing, and it was like 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay,
and it was always funny when it came on. Mm-hmm. And then about her show ends up getting canceled by Fox.
The spinoffs are
and then
bigger.
You hear The Simpsons, that little video clip that you saw on the Tracy Ullman show now gets its own show. And you're like, well, check it out. That was, 30 years ago? Whatever the hell it is.
It is
still here.
That's the show.
Like, it's competing with, 60 Minutes for the longest running show?
Tracy Ullman's walking around like, hire me.
I know, like, God damn it, man.
Right.
I put you
somebody, please. She's brilliant.
Help me out here.
She's brilliant.
Miles, you know how I love a top 10 list. So our friends over at BuzzFeed here say, in recognition of Sunday being Father's Day, they took a moment to grade some of the best and worst dads on TV shows. Right. So instead of running through the 10 and just, who's the best and who's the worst, I'm just going to tell you their grades that they got here. We start at number 10. They give us Cal Jacobs, who is the father on Euphoria.
Not familiar.
I've not watched Euphoria, but I know that it is not exactly a happy show, if I'm not mistaken.
I've seen bits and pieces of the show because my wife swears by it. I don't watch it, but I have seen pieces of it. I don't recall seeing any fathers, but I would just say that based on the kids I see on that show, none of them are doing a bang-up job.
No, that is probably why our friend Cal Jacobs gets a roaring F as far as a grade there is
Yeah, just based on any kid. They go, people got mad at that show saying it glorifies drug use. No, it deals with drug use. I promise you. If you watch that show and be like, yeah, I want to be like them, you're out of your mind.
Indeed. Number 9 from Stranger Things, Ted Wheeler, who you might know as Mike and Nancy's Amson father, which
he's just adult.
Yeah.
He is like a sitcom dad that they put on a drama, but instead of being, he's just aloof, has no idea what's going on, and is completely disinterested in anything that anyone else is doing.
That is likely why he gets a slightly better D+ grade as far as the best and worst TV dads here. Ross Geller on Friends. You may recall he had his young son, Ben. They also had a daughter. What was the name of their daughter? Emma? Ava?
I don't know.
I forget. But for some reason, they just don't like his fathering style, and so they give him a C on that one.
He was a whiny character in general.
Right.
Do you want a whiny dad?
I don't find a whiny dad to be a bad dad. Like he tried his best for what he had. Like he had very overbearing parents, and he tried to not be that. So kudos to the guy for trying to not follow in those footsteps. And maybe that's why he gets a C. Like, okay, good job. You weren't your parents, but you weren't exactly better neither. So
I like this. Somebody here goes, Shameless #1 for worst. Now my wife started watching Shameless. I ended up getting sucked into that show. It is a fantastic show if you haven't seen it.
Okay.
He's not the father you'd want, but as a character, he was outstanding.
Now, I've only seen the first episode,
so that to me tells you that he is the father you'd want.
It's William H. Macy. He's a drug addict. He's a drunk. He's a liar. He's
also the father you have.
But he wears it on his sleeve. Like, he won't lie to you and tell you he's anything other than a scumbag. Right. God damn, he's hilarious.
Number 7 from Miles' favorite Netflix show, Schitt's Creek. It's Johnny Rose.
He was great.
Great show.
Is that Gene Levy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was great. He's a good dad.
Yeah, he's just trying his best.
He means well. He's got a lot to manage. There's a lot to manage. His wife is having her troubles.
Right. They're just
daughter
to the hand they were dealt.
She's doing her thing. His son's doing his thing.
That show's absolutely
He's trying
hilarious.
to do the best to just bring everyone together and remind everybody they're family.
Which I do
Which
love.
is all a dad does.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man, like, we all have our own stuff, but
I feel
we
like
all love each other.
He is the most accurate representation of a father. Not necessarily their situation, but as far as how you choose to try to manage your family.
Right, exactly.
You never really have the final say.
But
It's probably going to fall to your wife, but you do the best you can.
But you realize a lot of people are more fiery and volatile, so you just try to keep the peace and try to keep the family together. So your whole job is to play peacemaker.
Yeah.
And then that's probably why he gets the B+ grade, same as our friend Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers. Yet again, just a father who's trying to get by, man. That's right. Yeah. He just wants to run his restaurant and not go under, man.
I love the Daily Special.
Also in the B+ grade there at number 5, Andre Johnson on Blackish.
Yeah. He does what he can, man. He wants the best for his kid. He's a bit of an idiot, but he kind of knows he is, but he swings for the fences with everything.
They're not reaching here on a lot of dad roles.
No, they're not.
They put us in the same situations.
We're just trying, man.
We're putting out fires.
Yeah.
Now, our top 4 here all go into the A category. Ted Lasso at number 4. I still have yet to see the show. Ted, I know, swears by it, and apparently he's a good enough dad that he gets an A- grade there.
Can I tell you something?
Talk to me.
I told Ted about that show, and he kind of figured out a way to get it illegally for a while.
Oh, did he?
Eventually, he bought it.
Oh,
like he actually paid for it. This is so good, I
have to get it.
Right.
Also, in an A-, Jim Hopper, also on Stranger Things, who I believe is the former officer.
That's the cop, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He cracks me up, too.
Yeah.
Just know he's going to try to be patient. He wants you to do the right thing. And if in the end you disagree, he might beat the piss out of you.
But also seems like a big Lebowski type character.
A little bit.
In a weird way.
Number 2, Phil from Modern Family gets an A, and then the number 1 there from Parks and Recreation with an A+ grade. We get Gary from Parks and Rec, which I don't know.
Then we get Phil Dunphy. Come on.
Come on.
Phil's an idiot, but he was awesome.
As far as what to watch, new episodes of The Boys is on Prime Video, releases today. You've also got Late Night Tonight. I'd say watch Jimmy Kimmel. He's got Martin Lawrence.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
The Men's Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Japanese creamery makes a pepper ice cream so hot that if you can eat it, it is absolutely free. Meanwhile, a Wisconsin man goes 144 miles an hour on a motorcycle because day temps reached its 99th degree. In Canada, things are so bad, the only thing to complain about is an unkept lawn. Queens driver hits 40 parked cars on street when he fell asleep in his trunk at dawn. And a helicopter transporting a heart for a transplant crashes on a hospital roof. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
All right, top story, we go to Minnesota, where a motorcyclist was clocked going 144 miles per hour in a 65. The officer initially saw the rider and decided not to pursue him, but stopped him after seeing him in town riding without a helmet. The officer says that the rider was uncooperative during a stop and was eventually put into handcuffs, but he did give a good reason as to why he was riding so fast.
It's hot.
It was too hot outside.
Yeah.
Despite this justified excuse, the man was arrested.
144 miles an hour is fast.
So now all you're doing is just blaring
flying
through an oven. Like,
because of hot.
You know. It's hot. No, couldn't be because you're on a crotch rocket. No, it's because it's hot outside. Way to go, dummy. In other news, odd story out of the UK. A man gave an interesting reason for one of his tattoos. The man is a Nike fan, but like most fans of the brand, he's tired of having to pay so much to afford a new pair of shoes. In order to combat this particular dilemma, he went to his local tattoo artist and had a pair of Nikes tattooed directly onto his feet.
I finally saw the picture of it.
Is it cool?
Cool is not the word I would use.
It's very good artwork, but it's stupid.
Okay.
That's the way.
I do flip-flops.
Yeah.
That way it looks like I'm at the pool.
And the thing is that the shoe only goes to the base of the toe.
Yeah. So it looks ridiculous.
It does. It's fun for the whole family. Yay. A cavalcade of misfortune out of San Diego. The Miles actually had to show me this one. Someone posted a video to Twitter with the caption, quote, "This is the wildest series of events," and features a news chopper coverage of a helicopter that had crash landed in San Diego. Miles actually showed me the video of the helicopter crashing, which was a lot wilder than I had thought. The helicopter was still all in one piece, if that makes sense.
Well, the good news, the pilot was okay.
Right. Everybody was okay.
Yeah, there was a fuel spill on top of the roof of the hospital.
Right.
They run out to try to get the heart for the transplant.
Right, exactly.
And they did.
It appears that the crash landing was relatively tame, but crews were working to retrieve the human heart that was being transported by the craft. We see the crews finally get the cooler out of the chopper and is given to a medical professional who then carries it off and trips onto something on the ground, falling down and sending the cooler sprawling away.
Yes.
They did eventually recover everything and sent the organ on its way. If you haven't found this video, look it up on Twitter. Just helicopter heart is all you need to look for, and you can find it there. It is
hilarious.
Pretty ridiculous story there.
I just hope the heart made it, and it was transplanted.
Right.
The transplant takes
was okay.
all the things. Yes.
Right. You hope that the heart wasn't too bruised.
Because they were rushing that in.
They were.
Yeah, for a certain, so someone's waiting.
Exactly.
They've already been sedated. You know, they're under anesthesia.
Right.
They're waiting for this thing. I think that's how that works. I think it's going to be kind of quick. You know?
I hope so. To New York, where officials are getting to the bottom of a nasty accident. About 2 a.m, a young man driving a Penske truck managed to sideswipe and damage 40 cars parked on the side of the road. After questioning the driver, investigators found that the driver was not under any influence, nor did the damage seem to be intentional, believing that the driver had simply fallen asleep at the wheel. At this time, no charges have been filed against the driver. Okay. That's the part that's a little bit interesting to me. Maybe they're just kind of working on the charges that are going to be put on there, but the fact that no charges were filed yet at all.
I know.
Like,
lucky son of a bitch.
Right. Okay. We go to Florida for a headlines update. You may recall the man that was so bold as to walk up to police and procure a couple baggies of methamphetamine, which he then asked if they could just run a test to ensure its authenticity.
Were they like, absolutely?
You bet we will. And they did.
You hand us your drug.
And that was some clean stuff, let me tell you what. This, of course, led to the man's arrest. He just reached a plea deal, and he will be sentenced to working community service.
Really?
Good times.
How dumb are you?
He's a genius.
Shout
of the day.
Yeah.
The latest food challenge comes to us via Japan, in which a small village has challenged its locals and tourists to try their new ice cream. It's a standard vanilla soft serve cone that is coated in a habanero dust. They promised that if you can finish the spicy treat, it is yours free of charge.
Don't do that.
It should be noticed that it's hot enough to warrant a waiver signing before the customers partake. Now, I remember when habanero was kind of big for a hot minute there. Yeah. It was the latest of the hot peppers, and it was still somewhat doable.
But this is dust.
It's like, look, you can eat a
fair.
mushroom, correct?
Right.
You'll be okay. Don't eat the dust in the bag. Right. That's a whole different trip, man. I'm just saying.
Is that a legit thing?
Yeah. Don't eat
sure.
don't eat the
We
dust.
say this from
my
experience,
God.
trust
Yeah.
us.
Weed is one thing. Don't eat the keef.
Right.
Dust.
It's so ridiculous.
It's just concentrated.
But anything that's advertised, if you can finish it, it's free. I don't want it.
No.
Like, here's a live dog.
Think about what
if
they
you
make
can
from
eat this
teeth.
whole thing, it's free.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawkins out.
Thank you, sir. Enjoy the weekend. Happy Father's Day.
Hell yeah, man.
We'll see you on Monday.
Yeah, it's all true. Happy Father's Day in particular. In the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. $20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com. $20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too big to fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Planning a wedding can be intimidating, but finding the perfect suit shouldn't be. Indochino makes it easy to get a fully customized suit right from home. With dozens of high thread count fabrics, patterns, and colors to choose from, Indochino lets you fine-tune every detail and design a suit tailored perfectly to your body and your personality. Set up your measurement profile on Indochino's website and choose fabric and customizations without leaving the house. Or book a showroom appointment and let Indochino's dedicated style guides help you and your wedding party look flawless for the big day. Their experts have been dressing grooms and groomsmen since 2007. And with suits starting at just $4.99 and fitted shirts at $89, Indochino is bespoke without the premium price tag. Get a wedding suit as unique as you with Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use code PODCAST to get 10% off any purchase of $3.99 or more. That's INDOCHINO.com, promo code PODCAST.